A bitter winter is approaching in Ukraine, and the war has taken a devastating toll on the energy industry. Russian forces have bombarded electricity and heating networks. The result, rolling power cuts, water pumping stations disabled, and widespread internet outages. President Zelensky says more than a third of the energy sector has been destroyed or incapacitated, and experts in Kyiv say Russia is aiming to plunge the country into complete darkness. DTEK, the largest private energy company, is currently providing 20% of Ukraine's electricity, but it says it needs help to fix and protect its facilities as the onslaught continues. And joining us now is Maxim Timchenko. He is the CEO of DTEK. Maxim, great to have you on the show once again. I read your October update. Good morning. And you said, and it's a very important point that you made, that the biggest cost here is not in terms of energy loss or financial cost, it's in human loss. And I know that you've lost, I believe, 95 individual employees, and you still have 15 people missing. I mean, that's heartbreaking for the families involved, for all of you in the country, and of course the business. Just talk me through that.
It's the highest possible price we pay this war. Just since 10th of October, when massive attacks of energy facilities started by Russians, we have 10 people injured and one was killed. And basically, Putin and Russia declared energy war on Europe, on Ukraine many years ago by cutting gas supply, building gas pipelines to bypass Ukraine. And now this war transferred into completely different form. It's physical destruction of our critical infrastructure. Since 10th of October, more missiles and drones were used to attack critical infrastructure than military facilities. This is the face of Russia. So they create humanitarian disaster in the middle of Europe. This is reality. This is where we are at the moment, but we keep fighting.
I mean, I mentioned in the introduction too that you're currently providing around 20% of the electricity for Ukraine. Talk to me about those specific drone and missile attacks that the country's faced since October the 10th. How much capacity have you lost? And just give us a sense of your ability and how quickly you can repair that or get that back up and running.
Today we operate 6 power stations, producing even more than 20% of electricity. 5 of these stations were attacked. So we did everything possible to bring them back, and 4 of them already back to the grid. But it's not only us, it's energy system of Ukraine. The whole system were attacked, and today we cannot transmit about 25 of electricity needed to consumers. This is the situation. That's why we have to go to roll-on blackouts over all regions of Ukraine. And this situation is very much critical today. What we need is equipment to replace damaged equipment, and we try to find everywhere in Ukraine and also appealing to our partners to bring it. As probably you know, when war started, our military officers and our president was saying, give us equipment and we will fight. Now, this is what we ask as energy company, as power engineers. Help us with equipment, give us equipment, and we will keep fighting. Bringing back electricity, restoring our power stations.
Maxim, can you tell me who you're talking to? Are either other companies or other nation states stepping up and providing this? I mean, you're talking, I'm assuming, about basic electrical equipment needed to replace some of the damaged pieces and parts of the infrastructure.
So we do everything possible in terms of contacting our colleagues from other energy companies who basically operate coal-fired power stations. We speak with vendors, suppliers of key equipment, the company like Siemens, ABB, who we have long-term history of relationship. We speak to other governments and humanitarian organizations so that they help us to build this logistics. So this is the critical point for Ukraine to ask for this help from the world. Because if we lose this energy war, we do not know consequences for the whole country.
I want to come back on that bigger point about what Russia is trying to achieve here and how you you better protect the country, but I know you've also said you're trying to erect structures around transformers, around some of the grids, the electrical grids as well, to try and protect them from drone or missile attacks. How much progress are you making there? And is that even feasible? Is it even possible to protect against those kind of attacks and this kind of technology?
To be honest with you, we are very much dependent on our air defense forces. So
Right.
we work very close to our forces, and we hope that they can protect us. But also we build constructions, concrete blocks, everything possible to protect our equipment on open air. But if it's direct hit, that there is no chance that all this construction can help us. We rely on air defense, and I hope that our partners will hear us that we need much more today to protect critical infrastructure.
Maxim, you touched on it earlier. This is bad enough at this point in time, but if this continues and the winter weather progresses, it's going to be even more devastating. Is that what you expect Russia to do, to continue to target critical infrastructure like power and energy services in the country? And for those that are saying they actually are aiming for a complete blackout in the country, do you think that's what the intention is?
I'm confident. What other intention can be from terrorist country? So it's obvious for the whole civilized world that Russia is terrorist country, and they use method of terrorism. So this is their intention, to cut electricity supply from our people so that they will be freezing, so that they create humanitarian crisis which will touch millions of people, because people will have no choice. Either go to the West and have refugee crisis, or basically there is no other choice if we completely cut off electricity supply and heat during the winter.
How do you expect Ukrainian people to react in that kind of situation? And as you pointed out, for those in the West that perhaps could do more, we are talking about an even wider scale refugee crisis potentially. That needs to be recognized.
It is something that should be reality in eyes for those who are helping us, and that basically the whole world sees this pictures of attack in the center of Kiev on 10th of October. But people still in Kiev, we are still working. People spend half of their day in bomb shelters. They cut off electricity for 4, 5, even 10 hours during the day. But we are staying and fighting, and this is something that make Ukrainians special nation in this fight. It's difficult to predict how situation will be developing. We still hope that we can cope with all these challenges. Even today, when we have 25-30% of electricity shortage in the country, we develop different plans how to develop local power sources, how to find technological solution of the situation depending on the regions. So what I can say, we have no choice. We'll keep fighting, and eventually we will win.
But to your point too, in the interim, you need critical help in repairing some of the damaged infrastructure, and we emphasise that call, that's what you're asking for here and requiring. Maxim, I just want to get your view on one other story that we continue to cover. Russia has suggested that they're concerned that Ukraine is preparing some kind of dirty bomb, and obviously, the Ukrainian government have said this is ridiculous. Western governments, the United States, the UK, have come forward and have obviously talked to the Russian government, and the fears are that this is some kind of false flag operation by Russia to escalate this war. Maxim, how concerned are you of some kind of nuclear escalation in Ukraine?
So I think that it's obvious that Russians cannot win on battlefield. And they use different methods. So they attack civilians, they attack civilian infrastructure, they cut heat from children and from families. This is the way how they fight. And all these nonsense ideas about dirty bomb or something. That's just the face of Russians. They are lying. They're lying for years. And basically, of course, our officials responded. Ukraine is ready for any kind of inspection, and so it's difficult to comment what next Russian can create in their minds, accusing Ukraine is something that never happened. So of course we cannot exclude any nuclear risk and attack from Russians after what they've done since February. But as I said, we'll keep fighting. We'll do everything possible to get prepared for the worst case scenario.
Maxim, good to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time today. I know you and your people are incredibly busy, and our hearts are with those that are missing and also the families of those whose people and family members have been lost. Thank you, sir. Stay safe. The CEO there of DTEC.